All right, so today's video, we're watching a Plat 4 tank on PC. They say that I am a 40-plus gamer, and I've recently been enjoying a lot of D.Va. This is a game that I think my team should have won on the first try, but we let the enemy full push. Maybe I was too aggro on third point, forcing a set amount of rounds. I am mostly concerned with my target priority and how to dive the backline effectively. I also find myself getting lost when diving squishies near corners / cover, which can lead to not getting the kill and leaving myself overextended. All right, so it sounds like they want to learn a little bit on how to do this timings. I'm up for that. D.Va Circuit Royale, not my favorite pick. And I'll explain why. Sigma on this map is really good with the sightlines. So sightlines are basically like the distance and where your teammates need to get through. So when they're able to play this far back, you want to know what you want to do here? Don't do this. And you're like, what do you mean? My teammate needs to get space. I'll show you what to do. Go here, fly over the top. If they're here and they all look at you, it creates space here. If you get demec'd, then unlucky. Now, you're probably not going to get the kills, but by the time they're able to do a play, you can just fly over again and end up back here. But the reason why you do that is to basically create different angles and pressure. It's just a little bit of a side note if you're going to play D.Va on this map, to be wary of that, especially if they're running the default Sigma comp. If people end up liking the starter hero series that we've been working on, where I give you like 3 starter tanks for like each map, we'll probably do one for like escorts and like payloads, etc. But we're doing a test video first, which actually that video should be done like very, very, very soon. Like I'm more than positive that video is like very close to being done. So good job there, good job diving. Yep. Your tank instantly picks D.Va. It's not that D.Va is bad. It's more about you have to play D.Va in a way that makes sense for the map. And even though it worked there, it's not always going to work that way against that. So I'm just giving you like tools on ways to start. So here we go. You're on the hog. Now, I'm okay with what you're doing. Going for the hog. I just remember DM heals more though. And I would dive top right at this point. Yeah, go top right. Yes. Good job. The reason why you do this is the moment Ana stops healing that hog for just a second, that's when the hog will die. Because like if Ana's just able to shoot all, whatever was it, like 15 bullets into a hog, like eventually you're just gonna end up maybe losing that. A nano happens. So that was the correct play. You ended up doing well. As long as your Juno doesn't pop ultimate here, you should be... They popped ultimate on this guy. I probably did the same thing. Get the point. Guarantee it. You'll get Juno out quickly. Not a bad start by you, though. I think like you had the right idea. Once again, it's all timing based. If like for some reason you can't kill the hog, that is the correct play, though. Like going up high ground and doing that. That I can absolutely see being like a good play. I was gonna say, because like the hog can hook your ultimate, and like good hogs will do that. But I see what you saw too. I would just go higher up, so it's a little bit harder for the hog to do that. Good movement, not bad. Did your teammates heal you up? Not bad. I mean, so far, pretty good. Oh, it's something that you can do. Something that you can do against hog. You'll see me apply this knowledge sometimes. But basically, when you're going up against a hog and they ult, I actually won't DM right away. And the reason why I don't DM right away is because a lot of hogs try to bait out your defense matrix by like getting you to DM and then they hook you during their ultimate. So what I like to do is I actually like to wait. Best case scenario is that they push you so far back that their ultimate loses value, and then you have your DM ready to go. So just be careful overusing your DM against hog, because what does hog ult last for? I think it's like 1.5 minutes. So you need to find timings and like effective ways to be able to make good plays. There's the hog. Yep, I don't mind you going for the backline pressure. Like people are gonna say like, oh, but you need a tank for your team. I'm gonna be real with you. Like they're really trying to, and I don't know if you've noticed this over the last few balance patches. They are really trying to get. I think the philosophy they have now is, in order to alleviate some of the pressure on tank, is to force tanks to feel more incentivized to go to backline than to sit there and stand still. A little bit aggressive there, but I saw what you saw, so I'm not gonna like get too mad about it. A little bit, you overextended. But like, this is one of those moments that, it's gonna be funny because like it's D.Va. But try not to get into autopilot mode. What I consider autopilot mode is where your gameplay loop becomes, they get me, I run back. It doesn't matter if it's a 3v5, a 2v5. Just don't like go right back into a team fight immediately. Like make sure everybody's there, understand what cooldowns the teams have used, because otherwise you get demec'd, and this is how you spend so much time running back from spawn. Now, they've alleviated a little bit of this pressure, in my opinion, with the wave respawn, where like it feels a little bit not as bad, right, when your teammates overfeed, but it still isn't good. And like, you see how you never got a chance to really get back into this team fight, and you went up there. Now, you could argue that you got out 3 ultimates for literally going in there and doing absolutely nothing. Actually, 4 ultimates, and honestly, great. But you can't bank on that. You know, pay attention to your teammates that, you know, no, not yet. Okay, this actually, I like the ult. I like the ult. Good ult timing. I feel like that ultimate right there is a very, like, safe ultimate. You see a couple people out of position. If you ult it correctly, you're probably going to get someone. And if you think about what's been happening in a lot of these team fights, there's a lot of hide-in spots for these players to go when they're playing, like, right here. So finding them when they're out of position here gives you actually a good ultimate opportunity. And it's also a safe play in the sense that, like, if you ult and you're back here, they can't kill you. So you don't get the kill. Yeah, it's a little bit risk-reward, but I think it's a safe D.Va ult that got value. I actually had no problem with that. It's not always going to guarantee you kills, but I see the vision, and I don't mind it. Yep. Is it on YouTube? Yeah. Yep. Ping the Moira. Everything's good there. Doing the right play, being aggressive with your team. Everything there, in my opinion, was well played. I think you played that very well. Good job. That was very well played. A little bit overextended here. I'm not necessarily worried about this just yet, because you're just going with like the flow, which is like basically your teammate has map control, and they're worried about the point. So a little bit aggro. I think it was good though. If you want to know the question, could you have stayed on the point and not pushed in? Yes. And I think like it's like a 50-50 play. You can do either or, and both can bring you success. And I think that's fine. With the off phase, you're gonna nap. Have a good nap. Nice job taking high ground, by the way. I like that. Also, just once again, I want to show players why taking the high ground here is very important, because it really is. The reason why you take the high ground up here is because even though, like, you're not going to be able to prevent Hog from going to, like, hook your teammates, you're creating angles, right? And in theory, you should have had one more player up here with you and kind of leave your Moira on the cart because your Torb's up here. But your teammates actually did a good job here. So if you're up here and Cass is here and Torb's here and you have your Moira back here and your Juno's kind of flying around, and you've created angles. And for the other team, this is frustrating to play against. You know how when you're just, like, spinning in circles and, like, you don't know what to do? This is what's happening. You might have wanted to go back up to the high ground instead of, I don't know. It's fine. It's such a situational play that, like, it's a good thing that I'm trying to find other things for you to, like, work on here, because you're playing fairly well, in my opinion. You've made a couple over at top. Like, that was... Be careful of a remake in front of a Hog. I want you to be careful of that. That is way more risk than reward, unless they all run through the doorway. That's an easy way to get hooked by a Hog or, like, get one shot by a Hog as you walk in front of it. Remember, you're going to feel enticed to play the standstill on the floor gameplay here. Do not feel like you have to. D.Va benefits, like, greatly from being aggressive and going in. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Yep. Too aggro again. Remember, not aggro. Just give your teammates an extra second. Play corners. If you know they have a Hog, don't run right into them because they can hook you, and that's how you get D-Mac. This is just called wait an extra second, slow down your gameplay ever so slightly, and you'll be in a good spot. That's all I'm seeing out of you here. All right. Nice pick. Yep, there you go. D-Mac time. D-Mac time, possibly? So, okay. One thing I do want you to get out of the habit of, I want you to stop flying into their team like you are. When you fly into there, like into their team like you just did, you're not going to have escape. The boop damage on D.Va is, like, not that good. Like, I think they buffed it again one time, but, like, with the HP increase, it kind of just ended up not being as good. So, like, don't, like, just fly into 3 of them just to fly into 3 of them and then get D-Mech. Because it very much looks like you were close to getting D-Mech there and your teammates just made good plays. And I've seen you get D-Mech'd a few times doing this type of overcommitment. So when you play D.Va, you want to have your flight as an escape. So, like this one, like flying into there, that's fine. Because now you're denying them their entry out of spawn, and like there isn't 5 people there to kill you. Also, nice remake on a Tracer. Wonderful. You see what I'm saying? Now remember, Winston's pretty good against D.Va now, except... So I want to show people this because... actually, let me see. Okay. Now, normally it used to be you would just shred the Winston and that was that. But now when you look at Winston, you see this armor here, right here? All this armor on the health bar? If that's there, I've actually stopped using my rockets against Winston. I know that, like, it's projectile, so it won't do anything. But what I've realized is that I can't do enough with my left click after that. So what I do is I try to grind down the armor. And once I see the armor's gone, then I do my burst damage combo. But if you try to grind the Winston down with just like your burst damage right away, you'll find that your burst damage is way less effective against Winston, and Winston usually survives it. Doesn't mean don't use rockets into Winston sometimes. Like, obviously you have to. If they're like, say their supports aren't consistently healing the Winston, or they play like a comp that can't heal the Winston very easily, then you'll be fine. But, you know, they're running what? Juno, Ana, long range heals, they can do that. Like, the Winston will probably not get rolled immediately. I mean, good news is that even though you turned your back for the Winston... Okay, are you ready? I'm gonna give you a little bit of advice now, because this is a good opportunity to kind of show things. Now, I'm gonna wait till your next team fight. But remember what I've been saying now. One thing I've noticed Blizzard start to do is they're trying to get tanks to stop tank busting. And they've done it with Reaper also. Have you noticed that Reaper struggles against Winston now in a 1v1, but what you want to do is Reaper is just dive their backline? So do you see what... Okay, and here's what you're doing wrong. You're trying to peel for the Winston now. Now, Season 8, I would have been like, yes, this is a great play. This is excellent. The problem is now, you just can't burst Winston down anymore. So in reality, your reaction is to actually pressure their backline. Because now their Winston's going to jump in, but your teammates back up. They've won that part. Now you're going to pressure their backline, which means the Winston can't be healed. The Ashe can't do damage to you when you're turned around, and now you've prevented them from doing a lot of damage. And I'm not saying just dive into their backline and push all the way to here until you're DMAC. You can just dive their backline, play this corner here, prevent them from doing stuff, and then back away safely. But when you turn around to counter the Winston, the bubble prevents heals from you. You're not DMing any of the damage from the Ashe, the Juno, or the Ana, and you're certainly not able to prevent the heals. You go here, you play this corner, you've now isolated 2 of them out, and then you eventually back away. See? And now you're safe. And sorry if I'm going a little bit over analyzing this a little bit. It's just along the lines of, like, the tank roll is shifting again, and I'm trying to get people, like, I'm trying to, like, update people on what you want to do. Keep in mind, the reason why I've, like, had to, like, also bring this up in VODs is because I had to adjust to this playstyle, too. I got used to the other playstyle, and it took me, like, 50 rank games to realize I can't just sit here and counter dive a tank anymore and go peel heavy. It just doesn't work. We just lose team fights. So now that I've started to, like, be really aggressive again on their backlines and, like, do it in like a safe way, I'm winning way more games again on D.Va. Great play. Out of position Pharah. Winston's not there. Boom. Good to go. Now play cover. Play cover, yes. Good job. All well played there. Is it important to block the healing with Matrix or try to kill the supports? Yes. I know that's probably not the answer you're looking for, but by the way, I want to point something out here. So while you were diving here, right, your teammate had an initial dive from Winston, but look what you've done. You've put a bunch of backline pressure on now, and now they can't do as much. Your teammates have map control. What I want you once again to be careful of is do not overextend for a kill. If you leave the Ana at this HP and the Pharah at this HP because you can't get the kill, it is better to go back up and not get demeched than to overextend to get these kills, because then you won't have a team fight with your suit next fight. I just don't want to see you get demeched. Ana's dead. You got the Ana. Boom. Good to go. Pharah's dead. Yep. Can you use Prime to subscribe? You can, but like sometimes it's hidden, or say it says it's available today, but it hasn't been 24 hours or 24. I mean, exactly the time that you subbed initially. You have to wait till it's available. Good ultimate combo. I actually like that. Perfect ult, because the Winston dived in, which means the bubble can't prevent anything, and you knew they would probably be pushing up. Great play. And a lot of their team hasn't been able to push in. Now, the next question you're going to have there is, should the D.Va have peeled for the Winston? I'm okay with that one. Because when they have their ultimate, the hitbox is a lot larger, and your teammates are more likely to all in the Winston with you, and they don't have bubble anymore, which will prevent a lot of that. So I think the reason why I also like that you peel for the Winston is that they just pop Juno ultimate on the low ground, which means that if they have a Juno ult down there and you try to go for the Ana, it may be harder to kill the Ana because the Juno ult's there, and then you take a bunch of damage from everybody else. So I think you made the correct play. Yeah, I think you made the correct play. What rank is this? Plat, I think? Nice job. Well played. Didn't get out. Great job. Just wait. A little bit too much DM usage. That was probably not bad. Good ult. I like it. Once again, recognizing timings, like realizing they're out of position probably, or they're trying to move up. I don't mind that ultimate at all. That's a playmaking ultimate. Chicken, thanks for the 5 months of the finish run. Thank you. Appreciate it. Good job. Good backline pressure. Wonderfully played. Outside of you having the only thing that you did wrong there is that you wanted to use your spray and one of your teammates died because you did that spray timing. But outside of that, it was all good. You wanted the style on them. You get it? Because their Ash's name is Style. Oh, what a treat that was. Okay. Yep, get out. Wait. Get healed up. Perfect. Just wait. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Good job, good job. Yes. Wonderfully played. Only other thing I would like you to see to do there is that if your teammate goes in with ultimate, and you did it a little bit, just DM them even more. Make sure that they survive that. Look, you got an ultimate out of their Winston now. Can't peel for that outside of damage. Good job. I don't know why they Winston ulted, but good job. Back away. If you want to go for that same ult timing, wait for the Winston, try to go to the left with it. Yes, left. Okay, I mean, a little bit too early, but I wanted the Winston to die first. So let me explain why. When you see the Winston here, let me ask you this question. Is this team more inclined to push up before their Winston goes in? I mean, some would say yes, but more than likely no, right? So the reason why I want you to wait for the Winston to engage in and make that play is then the supports feel obligated to push to here. So that way, before they were here, so they just run into here. But when their Winston goes in, they feel more obligated to push in. And your timing was a little bit off to the point where the Winston dove in off of the ult timing. I want you to wait an extra second on that one because that's your timing, okay? The ults have been good, but you just gotta wait an extra second. Venom, thanks for the 4 months last year one. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you. Nice job. Go up in the high ground. Watch it. No, 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 no. Don't peel, don't peel, don't peel, don't peel, don't peel, don't peel. Do not peel, do not peel, do not peel. No, 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 no. Okay. You can't peel that. They have a Winston who's nanoed. You can't do anything. I want you to go this way. Force the issue here, maybe pick up a kill. This is a team fight that's going to be hard to win, but let your teammates have to deal with that. You go in and prevent these three from doing anything. That's what you need to do. Now, you go, what if I get DMAC'd? That's a part of what's happening right now. It's really hard to peel for a nano Winston in the backline. That's why I wanted you to actually go in and trade. And that my reaction used to be the same, by the way. That's why I'm like very adamant about this on learning this one, because I used to do the exact same thing. So they're on Zarya now. A little bit more difficult here. So yeah, you do want to play the high grounds. You have the correct idea. Count bubbles. Yes, thank you. Once again, this is a great play, even though it's not much happening. Rather than sit there and just fight the Zarya, you see them use bubble in front of you, you fly up. Now they can't do much to you. You can play there. Your supports are fine. Count bubbles. That's when you get the kill. Don't stand there and fight the Zarya like you're playing Zarya. You're on D.Va, and that was an excellent decision. That's not going to be on the stat sheet. But that's what you want to do, right? Count bubbles. Oh, might be a little bit too over the top here. I'll give it to you though, because you did ult, so we'll take it. That's one of those trying to do too much plays that it still worked, but those are some plays that may not work all the time. Think about why you ulted there. You went in there before counting the bubbles completely. It worked out, but once again, it's more along the lines of figuring out what your timings are. One bubble used. Don't stand in front of the Zarya. Do not do that. Okay. There it is. You got the kill. Okay, so you got the kill, but there's a certain point where I don't know if it's worth it yet. We'll see, though. I'm not going to take away the playmaking of that, but I also want you to once again realize that that's an extension that won't work at times. So more about think about why you're doing it, and if it was to all in the Juno and lose your mech, then that's fine. If that's the strategy, I'm okay with that. But I feel like it would have been better to have your ult still. I don't know. Like I said, it's very hindsighty, but it would have been nice to have your mech during that onslaught of ultimates. Is basically where I'm looking at with that one. Yeah, it's little things like that where I'd rather you have your mech and force them to have to make a bad ultimate than feed in and make their decision that much easier. Because if D.Va has mech and you're going, okay, I need to figure out how I'm going to use my ult here. But if you demech a D.Va and they're just a baby D.Va, your decision for ultimates becomes a lot easier. It's, oh, I have a free ult. Now how can I find the best way to use this? Yeah, there's no reason to overextend on the Zarya there at the corner. It's going to play into them. I want you to play the corner, but you don't need to fly into them. This is fine, the high ground. Nice job eating the Ashe dynamite. No. Ana to your left. Oh, yeah, that's overextension. It's so tough because I'm watching you do plays that you won't always get away with. But then, like, it's working, so I'm kind of like, it's like, if it's working, then I can't really say anything, like, too bad about it because it's working. I don't know. I think it's more about just finding your right timings. I think sometimes I think it's more along the lines of sometimes you try to force the issue too much, like, and make a play that you don't necessarily need to play. But at the same time, I don't want to take away your ability to try to make a decisive decision. Just think about your timings a little bit more. Clean up those timings. I mean, great start. Tough comp to go against here, but... I mean, I still think you're all in too much sometimes, but, I mean, hey, it's working, so. Although you out of mech could be an issue later on. Ah, they're on a stagger, though. Could have this. Yeah, I know, I see their comp, exactly. I think you just might be fine. I was gonna say, GG's. They just can't get back. Nice. Good job. But yeah, I would say mechanically playing well. I think a lot of what you need to do is your timings are like slightly off. And I'm not talking like by like 10 seconds. I'm talking like 1 or 2 seconds. Remember the D.Va ult? When you used it early before the Winston dove? Things like that. Try not to overextend for kills. Look for cooldowns. But overall, I think you had the right idea. I think you just need to learn it really is just timings. It's a 2-second window. Maybe like when you have a play sometimes, add an extra second to that play and see how it goes, and then find like your middle ground. Sometimes it just felt like your plays were a little bit too early, but like it also worked. So I still want you to try to make plays. Just maybe like just adjust those timings. And remember that the new playstyle of D.Va is more dive and backline than it is trying to peel for Winston the whole time. There was multiple times where I felt like you tried to peel for a Winston in a situation where you should have went for their backline. You got this, though. I definitely think you can climb. You got this. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to all 3 YouTubes if you haven't. Leave a comment. All that helps. If you want to submit your own spectating, look in the description below. You'll see my Discord. That's where you do that. We also record these live on stream. You can look below the webcam. You see the Twitch chat. We also stream on YouTube. All that, so stop by. We have a lot of fun here. With that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day/night.